Oh, hey, sorry. I was just playing Undertale.
Man, I love Undertale. Story, art, characters, areas, truly a work of art. Even with its release over 10 years ago, its fanbase is still thriving. Mostly because of Toby Fox's other game, Deltarune, but also because of just how replayable the game is.
This game has stuck with me for all these years, so recently I've been wondering if there are similar games that might affect me just as much. So, let's look this up.
Alright, so we got Amori, seen that, off, nah, you may Nikki, maybe, oh, Earthbound.
That's where that ness kit is from, right? Maybe I'll play that. How much does it cost, though?
$300? Loose?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass.
Guess we just have to find something else to do.
What now? I come from 10 years in the future, and I'm here to save both your world and mine. Both of our futures depend on this. You have to trust me. Oh yeah, that's cool. Just, what's with the paper? Oh, I'll explain that later. Let's just head inside first. What I still don't understand is, how are we supposed to save the world again? With this. A magazine? Oh no, the rest of the stuff is still in the bag. Just read this first, okay?
This game stinks was the main advertisement slogan for Earthbound in the US. It was mainly used to appeal to the gross out humor at the time, and also worked in pair with the scratch and sniff stickers that were both in the manual and in some advertisements. Many wonder why this was the direction that was used in the ads, but I think it was because no one really knew how to sell this game. It was such a novelty at the time because not only did it not take place in a fantasy setting and instead in suburban/urban America, the story of the game was so odd it was hard to put it into its own category other than quirky sci-fi RPG, which greatly misinterprets it.
So we have to save the world by playing a crappy video game. The ad wasn't being critical of the game, it was more so adhering to the gross out humor that was popular in the 90s. Many people think that's why the game didn't sell well, but honestly, I think it was just bad marketing in general, and also, man, people just don't care. Oh, okay. SNES Classic, I see. Yeah, this is kind of the only way to play the game without spending $300 or getting sent to jail. Wow, now you're gonna save the world? No! Alright, here you go. Thanks. That's supposed to be me, right? Yes. Oh, okay. I'll just name him after myself then. Your name isn't Mint. And what is? Fair.
Earthbound, man. This game's so damn weird. Does that mean it's bad? No, its charm comes from its weirdness. For instance, the story follows a kid named Ness with psychic powers, who is told by a magic beetle to save the world from evil, and recruits a psychic girl, a nerd, and a prince from the sky, who with Ness travel throughout the world to find the 8 magic melodies and destroy the evil Gaius. And also Porky, this is Ness's fat neighbor. He's important at one point. We'll get to that later though. That was like a very brief overview of the game's story, so it in no way encapsulates the charm that this game has. That mainly comes from the wacky NPCs scattered throughout the game, such as the Runaway 5 and the Mr. Saturns. Although those were the most important ones, most of the ordinary NPCs' dialogues are arguably pretty hilarious. Each non-story driven piece of dialogue felt like the developers putting whatever they wanted to try and get a chuckle out of the player, and honestly, I would say they did that pretty well. Not only that, but many of the side characters seem pretty fleshed out in terms of personality. One example is Tony, Jeff's best friend, who throughout the story has to deal with the fact that his good friend is leaving him on a dangerous mission to save the world, and is constantly worried about him and calling him throughout the story. And when I mean constantly, I mean constantly.
So 1000% has a crush on Jeff, right? Yup. Huh.
One of my favorite NPCs is the Dungeon Man, because you first meet him in Winters just as a normal guy, he's just there. But later on, this man turns himself into a dungeon, and you have to walk around inside of him while this masterpiece of a track starts playing. The music in Earthbound is such an oddity. While playing, you don't even notice how weird the music is. You're too busy making sure not to die or reading through pages of dialogue. But then you go to YouTube and listen to the OST and, the hell am I even listening to? Most of the soundtrack is actually quite popular despite its strangeness. If you think you haven't heard a song from this game, chances are you probably have. For instance, there's Sanctuary Guardians, On It, Title Screen, and Snowman. Not only that, but many songs and instruments were sampled and used in other games, primarily Toby Fox's work. Some examples are Moonside Cafe and Ghost Fight and Dummy. The Past in Amalgam. Get on the Bus and Susie's theme. And then there's Venus and Space Boyfriend's tape I Want Nothing More from Amori and Ghost Fight from Undertale. I personally really like the music in this game, and I just wish there was an easier way to listen to it other than YouTube. Not only is the music great, but the art style of this game is something. I really want to applaud the creativity put in place here. I really love the way the backgrounds in the game look, and also the use of clay models for the enemy sprites. Then there are the battle backgrounds seen throughout the game, and man, this looks cool. One of the technical marvels of the SNES in my opinion. Kinda feels like those images where you have to stare at them for a bit and then look back to see the world kinda swirling or something.
Whoa, Jesus!
Speaking of the battle backgrounds, there's the battle system. One of my favorite things about it is the rolling HP meter. It allows you to act quickly enough to save your entire party, and it brings a sort of skill to the table that can really challenge even the best of players. The PSI effects are amazing in my opinion, because with these graphics you can really feel the power in some of these attacks. Wow. While I do love these fights, the enemies in this game can get so annoying at times. I always hate when I'm about to kill an enemy, but then 4 more pop up. Like, I don't want to fight all these guys. And even if you do win, you don't even get that much EXP for the fight. Earthbound has many annoying parts of the game, the worst of which being the bike in Tucson. Not only are you not allowed to use it on certain terrain, but once you get Paula, that thing's basically useless because it's a one-seater. Another stupid part is to wait to get into Belcher's factory. The password to enter requires you to wait 3 whole minutes to get past the door. No inputs, no nothing. Many say that it was meant to be a mandatory break for the game, and the length of 3 minutes was chosen because it's the exact amount of time needed to heat up a cup of ramen. And it's probably a better use of time rather than just sitting there, which is what I did. Once you leave Belcher's factory and cross the desert, you're brought to the bustling city of Fourside, where Paula gets kidnapped and you reunite with your fat neighbor Porky. This guy's such a piece of garbage. When you first meet him, he acts like a typical annoying little kid, normal. But then, after the prologue, he teams up with Paula's kidnappers who look like a bunch of Blue Clans members. This game's rated KA, by the way. And after you reject his crappy apology, he runs off, never to be seen until Fourside. Now he's teamed up with the currently very evil Mr. Monotoli and is taking advantage of the old man for his power. Once you destroy his main source of said power, an evil idol called the Manny Manny statue, he flees in a helicopter to God knows where, and you and your friends continue on your journey to find the 8 melodies. You arrive at Summers, a tourist trap where you are tasked to find a lady with magic cake. Yeah, again, weird as hell game. You eat it, and then this brings you to one of the strangest sequences in the game. Here you play as Pooh. Yeah, very unfortunate name. But he's the prince of the land of Dawn. And here he is, just about to complete his mood training, where he has to sit atop a mountain and meditate. I swear to God, I had to go back and forth 5 times before I understood what I had to do. But when I did,
Sure. Oh, God, I didn't think he'd actually do it. Wait, where are your legs? Future technology. Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. God damn it. Hey, dude, can you take the controller? Oh, yeah, sure, dude, no problem. God, this hurts. Oh, come on. Hey, he wants to take your brain now. Are you okay with that? Alright. Man, what the hell was that? I don't know. Hey, feel any different? Oh, dehydrated. Oh, good for you.
Once Pooh had finished his training, Ness and friends continued on their travels and meet the Tenda tribe. These guys are little friendly green blobs that have an entrance to the lost underworld, but can't help because they need a book to overcome their shyness. Just then, they receive a distress call from the owner of the book, Apple Kid. Ness and friends travel to Winters and go through the underground area to save Apple Kid and the others. After beating the Starman Deluxe, Apple Kid and the many others that we met along the journey get saved. Once the book to overcome shyness has been acquired, Ness and friends enter the lost underworld. Here we have to traverse to the next sanctuary and, man, these guys are so annoying. I could be fighting for my life trying to run away from one of these dinosaurs, and again, these stupid guys just keep erupting. The annoyance is short-lived, however, as this area can be completed quite quickly, and will lead you to the final sanctuary guardian, the Carbon Dog. This guy, it is probably worse than Hitler. All my attacks, they just don't do anything. It's so damn hard to beat if you aren't in perfect shape going into the fight, which is basically impossible to do because of the large number of enemies beforehand. And get this midway through the fight, this guy transforms. In this form, he'll put up a shield, making physical attacks useless. His other attacks are also stupid, as two of them have a chance to basically insta-kill you. During my first playthrough, it took me multiple days just to beat this guy. And even now, the fight is still so annoying. Once you defeat the Diamond Dog, Ness finds his final sanctuary, and with all the melodies collected, the Soundstone begins to play. Ness is then transported to the land of Magicant, a world made up of his own mind. Here we are greeted with many of the people we met along our journey, from Porky to Master Belch to even our younger self. We now have to travel inside our conscious and defeat the evil that lies within. There's still enemies here blocking the path, my favorite of which is Mr. Molecule. After that, we arrive at the Sea of Eden, where Ness, with all his courage, defeats his fears and the evilness that lies within. Once defeated, he wakes up, and the Chosen Four head to Saturn Valley. There, the Mr. Saturn tell him that they need a piece of the meteor from the beginning to complete their invention to defeat Gygus. So, the Four teleport to Anna and retrieve the meteorite piece. Once the piece is retrieved, the Chosen Four get the news that in order to enter Gygus' lair, they must transfer their souls into robots, which may be fatal. They all agree to do so, and Dr. Andonuts applauds their bravery.
So, ready to defeat Gygus? Yeah, honestly, I think this should be easy. Oh, no, I don't think you understand. You have to beat him. Not in the game. Like, you actually have to kill Gaius in real life. What? Wait. I'm not prepared for that. Where would we even find a robot body? I don't know. All right, this is the final stretch. No going back now. My ship over there should allow you to go back to his lair, but if it doesn't, I know you'll find a way back. You got this. All right. Where the hell am I?
This is the Cave of the Past, by far one of the hardest parts of the game. This is also where you meet the Starman on the box art of the game. These enemies here, the Ghost of Starman, Nuclear Reactor Robot, and Final Starman, are very difficult to deal with if you don't know what you're doing. Each enemy combination requires precision in your moves, and should be taken with great caution. Once you trek long enough, you make it to Gaius' lair. The floors are lined with intestine-like tubes, and at the center, a large machine is seen. Suddenly, Porky flies down from the sky and has told that he's been working with Gaius and helping him spread his evil. He says his own evil is too much to control and that he will use Gaius' evil to his advantage. Then, the fight starts. The music has a sudden change in tone, using a more of an 8-bit-like sound, signaling how otherworldly this enemy really is. Once you deal enough damage, Porky will release Gaius from his cage, turning him into his iconic red mist form.
I wonder what Past me's up to. Yellow.
Ah!
The fight itself is quite different at this point, because rather than fighting an object, you're fighting the battle background itself. While damaging him, Gaius will start speaking, as if he doesn't want to be evil, and is being controlled by someone or something higher. The music will also start to change, becoming more ear-damaging by the minute. Most attacks won't do much against Gaius anymore, so your only option is to use Paula's Prey ability. Her prayers will first break through his defenses, and then slowly do more and more damage.
Hey, I'll kill you. Watch this. Ooh, 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 ooh. Why did I think that would work? That was stupid. If anyone can help me, please. I just need a lot of help right now. Huh? Oh, right. What the? Oh man, did we do it? Yep, we beat Earthbound. But there is still one more thing we have to do. Now I have to go back in time and help Pastor Me, huh? Yeah, sorry I didn't tell you earlier, dude. Alright, well, see ya. Man, I love Earthbound.